A healthy spine and joints are the basis of a full active life. Today, joint diseases affect more and more young people. Every third person under the age of 40 already has various joint problems. Many experts agree that the reason is a sedentary lifestyle, as well as a poor quality of food. As it turns out, what we eat directly affects the health of the joints. Nutrition makes us healthy and beautiful. We will tell you which foods are good for joints and which foods destroy them. Improper nutrition is one of the causes of joint diseases. What should you eat to strengthen your joints? It is well known that jelly-like and calcium-containing foods are essential for joint health. However, according to the recommendations of doctors, a special diet for joint disease is far from being limited to the use of cottage cheese and jelly. The list of prohibited and recommended foods is much larger. Why is the right diet so important for joint diseases? The health of the joints is affected, first of all, by the balance of microelements. For example, many people know that dairy products are good for joints and cartilage. However, for the absorption of casein, the stomach produces a lot of acid, and calcium is required for balance, which creates an alkaline environment. Proper intake of carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins and minerals is important. It has been proven that the main cause of arthrosis is a violation of metabolic processes in cartilage tissues. In addition, the modern way of life of a person is far from ideal. We sit a lot, move little, carry heavy loads, and have bad habits. All this negatively affects the condition of the joints. Therefore, in combination with moderate exercise, you need to eat healthy foods for bones and joints. What you should consider: weight control. This is perhaps one of the most important principles of a healthy joints diet. The fact is that every extra kilogram of weight increases the load on the joints several times. This inevitably leads to their destruction. The recommendations here are very simple: reduce the consumption of fast carbohydrates, sweet and fatty foods, engage in moderate sports activity. Fractional nutrition is also useful for diseased joints. However, it is not recommended to independently set hungry days and go on diets. Any restrictions should be agreed with a doctor or nutritionist, as they can introduce an imbalance in the body. Therefore, the next important principle is a balanced diet. Balanced diet. As we have already said, nutrition for the joints and spine is a balanced menu. The body must receive a sufficient amount of all the necessary nutrients. It's about wholesome nutrition. And the key role here is played by both a varied diet and proper cooking. Prolonged heat treatment partially or completely destroys fibers and vitamins in vegetables. And when frying, harmful substances are additionally formed. Therefore, it is recommended to eat fresh vegetables and fruits, steam, stew, or bake in the oven. Drinking regime. Another principle of healthy nutrition for joints is clean water. An adult should drink 1.5 to 2 liters of pure water daily, not counting coffee, tea, and liquid food. This is very important because nutrients dissolve in water and are better absorbed. You need to drink in the morning, with any feeling of thirst, as well as half an hour or 2 hours after eating. It is advisable to drink in small portions. A must before workouts and before physical activity. Water quality plays a key role. It is necessary to drink purified living water, that is, one that has not been boiled. Such water can be bought from trusted suppliers, filtered at home with special filters, or prepared as melt water. Reduce the use of flavor enhancers. Amplifiers include not only glutamates, vinegar, but also table salt. Contrary to popular belief, salt in the joints is not deposited, but leads to fluid retention in the body. Thus, it increases the load on the joints. It is advisable to replace the salt rate of 4-5 grams per day with sea salt. Harmful food for joints. The list of products harmful to the joints is quite long. However, this does not mean that they should be completely eliminated from the diet. Some of them will have to be limited or excluded for arthritis or osteoarthritis, but after consulting a doctor. If the joints are healthy, these foods should not be consumed regularly. Red meats, beef, veal, pork. They have a high content of uric acid, which disrupts the metabolism of purines. Deposits form on the joints. Sunflower oil made this list due to an imbalance of omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids. Omega-6 stimulates inflammation in the joints, therefore it is contraindicated in gout and other diseases. Spinach contains a lot of oxalates, which also stimulate general inflammatory processes and can cause pseudogout. Tomatoes, black pepper, in excess, solanine disrupts metabolic processes in tissues. Tea and coffee, dark and light beer, alcohol. Legumes, especially red beans, are sources of purines. Fatty foods, sugar and sweets. The most harmful food for joints: canned foods, smoked meats, marinades and dried fish. Long-term storage cheeses. Trans fats and refined foods, margarine, purchased pastries, products with phosphates, crab sticks, sausages, condensed milk and others. Fizzy drinks. Healthy food for joints. Foods rich in selenium and sulfur. Selenium is an essential micronutrient for maintaining joint health. It is involved in their nutrition and hydration. Selenium is found in sufficient quantities in garlic, oatmeal, brown rice and seaweed, kelp. Sulfur is the main substance for the production of collagen in the body. Chicken meat, eggs, keta and cod, cereals, onions, all types of cabbage and apples contain it in sufficient quantities. Foods rich in boron and zinc. Zinc is another element that is involved in the regeneration of joints, in particular collagen fibers. Zinc is found in brown rice and meat. Boron is essential for strengthening bones. It can be obtained from cabbage, prunes, seafood and nuts. Calcium is the main building material of bones. There is a lot of it in cheeses, cottage cheese, eggs, nuts, corn. Also found in beets, cabbage, artichokes and seeds. In order for calcium to be better absorbed, it must be consumed with proteins. Fish and foods rich in phosphorus. Sea and ocean fish are the main source of phosphorus, which is involved in metabolic processes. Phosphorus is also found in cabbage and legumes. However, it is desirable to use them with herbs, parsley, cilantro, lettuce. Foods rich in vitamin D. Vitamin D helps strengthen joints. It can be obtained from foods such as cod liver, egg yolks, and butter. Cereals, nuts and sunflower. Nuts and seeds are rich in vitamins and healthy fats. In particular, they are high in vitamin E. Sunflowers, nuts, flax seeds, and olive oil also contain vitamin F, which is essential for joints. Together with vitamin D, it helps calcium absorption. B vitamins. Useful foods for joints, eggs, cheeses, bananas, seafood, crabs, oysters, lobsters. Products with collagen and mucopolysaccharides. Mucopolysaccharides are building blocks for connective tissue. They are found naturally in the cartilage and tendons of animals, fish and birds, as well as in algae. Gelatin is extracted from them. Red fish and kelp, algae, are a natural source of collagen. Proper and balanced nutrition is the basis of strong joints in the whole body. If the degenerative processes have already begun, the mere use of healthy foods is not able to stop the disease. It is important to consult a doctor and start treatment on time. In these cases, a diet for the joints and chondroprotectors are prescribed. In combination, foods that are good for joints, healthy habits and physical activity contribute to the restoration of cartilage tissue and maintain their elasticity for many years.